Because you know why?
Why?
Because it feels right.
It feels right.
Legendary.
No, the intro is right now.
Here it is.
Here with Greg Dow. Let's go.
Mud water.
Oh God, stop it. He just told me a Mudwater story about why he bought it, why he's a brand advocate. And it's because he unpaid. It's because he trusted the guy in the commercial. That's it.
I saw him 87 times for like 10 different YouTube videos, like different topics too. It's like, this is the right product for me. They got me. They got me.
So it wasn't just the fact that you saw it 87 times. It was the fact that they came at you with different messages.
Well, the same message, but it was like I'd watch a YouTube video on pickle, on politics, on whatever else. It's like all these different subjects. And then it's like, I'm still getting Mudwater. So I'm like, this, they know something. They know me better than I do. So I was like, let's give him a shot. The guy on the screen was cool. Seemed like, straight shooter. So
straight
Mudwater, baby.
Yeah. He just cares about you, Greg.
He cares about me.
Just doesn't want you drinking too much coffee. So, okay, enough about Mudwater, because they are not a sponsor of this podcast. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
We should get them,
but maybe through your, being a loyal customer that we can work something out. Yeah.
That's right.
Greg Dow, MLP player on the Brooklyn Aces.
That's right.
Boca Raton Masters champion.
That's also correct.
Wearing a medium shirt.
It's a normal shirt, bro.
Well, now
normal shirt.
I meant for that Boca tournament.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wearing your shirt. I still have that shirt.
I know you do.
I don't know if I'm returning the shirt to you. I told you that I just kept forgetting it and I left it in my room. The shirt's gone. The shirt's gone. The shirt no longer is in my possession. It's in the ether. The shirt is gone.
Tell us a story about
getting the shirt back.
Tell us a story about why you had to wear my shirt.
Oh, dude. So we're at the Boca Raton Masters big tournament a couple months ago. Huge. And we
wasn't so big when it was an APP, but now that it's not an APP, it's gigantic.
It was huge, crowds were huge, all the best players. And so anyways, so me and Scarpa are staying in a hotel room and Scarpa books the rooms. I'm not the guy. I don't do the logistical stuff. I'm not going to book it. I'm going to book a day of.
You're not
so
that
Scarpa
guy.
Does the room. I'm not that guy. So Scarpa does the rooms and he doesn't do it that much in advance either. But he's better than me at it. And so, we kind of have this tradition of staying in the shittiest hotel room like possible. Like just like it's not even like to save money. It's like we stayed in one accidentally that was like literally the worst hotel I've ever been in. And it was like, this is fun. This is like, there's a guy outside, there's creepy people. It's fun. It's part of the experience. Right.
Yeah.
And so we booked a room at the Boca Inn, which was, it sounds like it could be really nice. Like, ooh, the Boca Inn, or it could be the shittiest hotel ever, which it was. So anyways, we're staying in the Boca Inn and, I'm trying to remember. So we play on Sunday, Championship Sunday. And during the day so I get back to the room on Saturday after we're done playing and my bag is not there with all my stuff. And I'm like, I go to the lady downstairs. It's a family run operation. Great people, actually. They also own the Indian restaurant that was connected to the hotel, which was a 4-star Indian restaurant. Connected to a 1-star hotel. That's what I would.
Did you dine at the restaurant?
Yes, we did. It was excellent. Excellent. They put all their resources into.
So the 4-star was warranted. Okay, got it.
It was It was a good Indian food. And anyway, so I go up to the lady. I'm like, hey, my bag's not here. Trying to figure it out. Blah blah blah. And she's, she doesn't. She's like, I don't know.
Was the door locked to the room?
So that's another thing. Anyways, the next day, I'm like, I can't.
Scarpa, where was Scarpa? Because you shared the
Scarpa was playing too. Scarpa was playing also. So we both got out, like we both left the hotel at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. Okay. And then we don't come, he's watching us Saturdays. We don't get back, time we eat, we don't get back. It's like 9 o'clock, whatever. I got to go to bed. I got to play the next day. So I'm like, whatever, I'm going to deal with it in the morning because we weren't playing until like 11 or something. And so I wake up Sunday morning. I go back down there. I'm like, hey, like.
Hold on, time out though. But on Saturday night, where's Scarpa and his stuff?
Scarpa's stuff remained in the room.
Okay.
It was the only
his stuff was there. They only took your stuff.
Correct.
Smart.
Correct.
People. Yeah. Jackpot.
Jackpot. Yeah. A lot of valuables in there. Actually, there was. I'll get into it, but basically, so anyways, Saturday night, like I can't deal with this. I got to play tomorrow. Whatever. It's probably the clean lady took it. It's in a room. Whatever. So I go back downstairs Sunday morning before we play, and I'm like, hey, can we figure this out? Can we? And I go to the clean lady. She walks me in the closet. They have all the stuff they pick up, and I'm like, it's not there. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what is going on? All my stuff, all my clothes are in there. I got like an iPhone 11 in there that I was about to switch, like a new iPhone 11. I'm like, dude, this is not good. And then so I go back to the front desk and I'm like, hey, can we check the tapes? Let's check the tapes here. Because I've seen some character. I've seen half of your residents are suspects at this point. Half that I've seen. And this is not this is all walks of life. Let's be clear about that too. This is not a great place. So we check the and they don't want to check the tapes because they know.
They know what's up.
They know what happened.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we don't. I don't know what the. I'm like, I know you have cameras. There's a big sign. They have the big sign under security. They have cameras. So we check the tape, and these dudes. So we fast forward to where we leave the hotel room at 6:30 a.m. And
so are you just sitting in a back room watching these tapes with the Indian family owners?
Correct.
Incredible.
Correct. I'm like, no, it's like we're trying to figure out what time. Like I'm like, no, it's like 6:20 is around there. And so eventually, so we finally get to where me and Scarpa are leaving the hotel room, and Scarpa goes out first, and then Dow goes out second. And it's early. I haven't had my mud water. I haven't had other supplements, and I'm not in a great state of mind. So Scarpa leaves first. I leave right behind him. I close the door, but it doesn't click. And
you remember this clearly that it didn't click.
No, I don't remember this, but I can see that it didn't click. So it wasn't like left wide open, but it was like in between, whatever that is. Yeah, exactly. And then about 8 minutes later, we see some hooded fellas. That's what I would describe. I mean, you couldn't even see them, but they had the hood on. It was like a movie. It was like a movie scene to me. I was like, oh my God. And you just see them walk in our room, just take my bag and leave. And
come on.
I'm like,
so they look through it? Oh, no, you can't see in the room, right? There's no camera in the room.
You can't see in the room. We just exactly. And so
but they don't want the Scarpa's bag or anything. It's just your bag.
It's just my bag. I don't know. It's a normal bag. I don't know. So then as we're watching it, there's an Indian woman who's kind of runs the place, and she speaks English, but she's definitely like Indian. And then she has her son who's like grew up in America. So me and him are kind of communicating more. And I'm like, so we watch these guys take my bag, and the dude goes, the Indian son goes, oh my God, I know them. And I'm like, you know the guys? He's like, oh yeah, I know them, dude. Like, I'm going to call him right now. So this guy, he knows the thieves. He knows them. And so I don't ask questions, man. I'm like, dude, just call him. Can you call him, please?
Give my bag, yeah.
And I'm like, and he's like calling. So he calls them, one of the guys, and he's like, oh, like, he's like, we knows you, like, come back. And he's like, and then he's talking on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, tell him to fucking come back. Like, and then he's like, do you want money? Like, how much money? I was like, just bring the bag back, dude. It's like, I just want the bag. Like, I don't care. Like, it's like jeans that I like jeans that I bought like 2 years ago that I don't even know where I got. Like, it's not a money thing. I don't care. Like, just there's nothing in there. There's the iPhone. But so anyways, the guy, they eventually bring the bag back. This is all before we play on Sunday, by the way. And eventually the guy brings the bag back. Actually, sorry, after we play, he brings it back. Because I had to leave. I was like, we played at like 11 or whatever. And I was like, it was like 10 o'clock and this guy's talking to the criminals. And I'm like, dude, I have to go. Yeah. And so I'm wearing my sweaty clothes the night before. And then after we win, I go back to the hotel. I'm like, any luck? And he's like, yeah, dude, the guys actually brought the bag back. He's like, I can't believe it. He's like, I cannot believe they brought it back, but they did. And the iPhone wasn't in there, but I was like, I got to get out of here. Let's,
So let's
get out of the boat camp.
they kept the iPhone, but returned the bag with your jeans.
Yeah, because then I was like, oh, this is awesome. I looked through the bag and I thought the iPhone would be in there, but it wasn't in there. So anyway, so I had to wear your shirts.
I'm surprised they didn't just take the iPhone and leave the bag in the first place. That was their whole goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are not geniuses. So I don't know how much I don't know how thoughtful they were about the whole thing. But yeah, so I end up, going to the courts after all this is going on. And I don't really care that I'm not like,
it doesn't bother you that much.
Russell. Yeah. Things like this happen to me. It's just, I'm just one of those guys that just, and,
good luck follows you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just stuff like that. It's fun, dude. It's a good story. And then, so, I was like, Rob, I need a shirt, man. You gave me a shirt and it was tight on the sleeves, which is nice. So I got like 7 out of 10 arms.
It was tight in all the right places.
It was, and it was a good color because it hid the love handles pretty well. But yeah, the sleeves were almost too tight. I almost looked like too jacked, I think.
I mean, you look pretty jacked.
No, it was good, man. I was freaking yoked. So no, man, it was good. It was a fun tournament.
Well, to be fair, you never lost a match in that shirt, so.
I never lost a match. And again, the shirt is, I mean, literally God only knows where the shirt is. The shirt is.
I just know that I'm gonna see you in a draw at some point. I'm going to see you in a draw at some point and you're going to be wearing that shirt and it's going to piss me off.
Bro, you want to hear something funny?
You throw it on right before you play me.
Yo, straight up, bro. I'm wearing undies, but I'm about to take off my shorts right now and show you something hilarious.
No.
This is so ironic, dude. So I have Nunnery's shirt, and then over MLP, I was hanging out with Koller at their house. I got AJ Koller shorts. See them? Well, I'm wearing them right now.
You were. I mean, Koller had a good weekend this weekend.
I know. No. I mean, no. These are literally his shorts that I took from him.
I see that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got the Frostbite logo on it. I see it.
Yeah. And they're amazing shorts. And I wasn't intentionally wearing it. they're great shorts, and I feel like AJ Koller. So
why did you keep his shorts?
Well, we were at their house. We were hanging out.
He gave them to you? Are you sure,
He
Greg?
did give them to me. He gave them kind of like how you gave me the shirt and probably were looking for it to be returned at some point. That's a similar situation, but I haven't seen him, and he left, and I was like, oh, and I didn't have any shorts. And then
it's honestly on him. He left.
It's on him, dude. And you know what? He's got like 78 of these. It's all he wears, right? So,
yeah.
I think he's fine. And I like the moment. It means more to me than it does to him.
I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe
definitely.
You get out there and start doing the crab walk while you're drilling, just working on your mixed game.
I started putting my hand on my hip because of AJ Koller.
Oh God.
Did you know that?
It's full circle. No, I didn't know that, but
Well, you know, I do that, obviously.
I'm constantly confused on why you're doing it, but yes.
I'm thinking about not doing it anymore, so I think it actually makes me slower, if that's possible.
More drag.
Yeah, there's something, but like it does feel comforting. Like, but I watched him do that, and I was like, I'm gonna try this one day, like a year ago.
And I was stuck.
Like, and it felt so good, dude. It felt so. I just felt like relaxed, and I was not
missing any dinks.
I couldn't miss it. I refused to miss a dink.
Yeah.
I couldn't miss. And then like worst case, I like just looked down. Like I know that like
you're comforted by your own arm.
Exactly. This hand's always going to be there. So worst case, I miss a dink. Like I can always look down and be like, I got myself. I got me. Right?
You got it.
Yeah, I watched him play and I was like, I got to figure out this dinking thing. And like, he was doing that. I was like, let's give that a shot. You know, let's make it a little more. Cause I think also, dude, like pickle, like the more feminine that you make things, I think the better you play. Like that I play at least. Like the weirder it looks, like the more awkward or the more, I think feminine, putting your hand on your hip, that's a feminine move. That's not a masculine play, right? So I think that actually makes you better, makes your little dinks better. It's a feminine shot, right?
Your little dinks better.
Right? Don't you like, dude, I swear, like the louder the higher pitched my grunts get, the tighter my hand is on my hip, like the better I play. Like I swear, dude.
You've cracked the code.
Feminine. I've cracked the code. Just make it as feminine as possible. I don't know. Whatever. Take that for what it's worth. Oh shit.
What's going on over there?
What else, man?
Have you watched some pickle this week? You got the Red Rock going on?
Hey, are we going to talk about, is this going to come out like after the Red Rock or something? Because I want to talk about that.
Yeah, it'll come out after Red Rock. So let's talk about it.
Okay. Dude.
What do you got? What are your thoughts? What are your analysis on the weekend?
Bro. All right. Let me tell you a story. I played me and Scarpa on Friday at Dallas tournament, Austin a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We play practice games with Sincola and Brendon on Friday before men's doubles on Saturday. And, you know, I thought going in practice games were like, us probably like a pretty even match. Like I think we're all pretty comparable players.
Yeah.
We played 4 games. No, sorry, we played 5, either 4 or 5 games, and it was either 3-1. Me and Scarpa won 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
And then the next, and we didn't play amazing. Like just, you know, we played solid, whatever. The next day they beat Koller and Decky, yeah. And then they played and they beat, who else they beat, dude?
Did they beat they beat Lung and Dawson maybe?
Lung and Dawson, and then Deckel and Koller. So it's like, I was like, oh my God, like what is happening? And then Brendon Long steps up in MLP and is just, I mean, he should have been in the dude. He was already good enough to be in the challenger division even before his little run now. But, you know, he plays with Warnick or whatever, and they get to the semi. I mean, it's like crazy. And then he steps up, he gets called up in Premier, and he played well. He wasn't amazing, but he held his own, and I was very impressed.
Yep.
And dude, I watched them this morning. I watched the James match this morning, James and Ryler against Brendon and Tyson.
Yeah.
And it was, as you know, I'm a huge.
It's the worst. It's the worst I've seen James play in a very long time.
James did not play well. Again, I'm Team James. I'm his biggest fan, other than like Odoff maybe, but I'm number 2. And I love James, but I'll tell you what, dude, Brendon Long Scarpa texted me last night. He was like, Brendon Long is the best player in the world right now. Dude,
okay.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, legit. He's very good. Last week at APP, he didn't medal though. So you know what I mean? That's so. But
you and Ryler beat him in the backdraw with Stefan, who's good too.
But that's the thing is like the margins are so slim. He's playing. Yeah, Brendon's playing great, and a strong left side player as well, right? But I think that's the issue. If like looking at Premier, the guys that are going to make that jump into Premier from Challenger in the new draft, I feel like it's more advantageous to be a right side guy, or at least to be able to play over there and be solid over there, right? Versus Brendon, who's only playing the left. So
can he not play the right? I wonder if he can.
It's his skill set is not suited for the right. I'm sure he possibly can, but like he's not getting these results on the right. You know what I mean? He's getting them on the left. But yeah, he's playing fantastic though. And
I'm shocked. I mean, and he's a great guy too. Like I've gotten to be friendly with him over the past couple months or whatever, and like he's a sweetheart, man. I mean, he's just the cutest guy. I mean, he's a sweetheart. He is, isn't he? Just like kind of like an innocent, like he's just a good guy. Like I just really like him.
I don't think Ryler DeHeart would agree, but
can we get into that?
I don't know what to get into. Yeah. So context, Ryler and I played the APP Mesa together, and we played Stefan and Brendon in it was like the 5th, 6th match of the back draw or something. And it was the first time Ryler all day had been like really fired up. And I was like, interesting. And I know like Ryler's mentioned in the past, like, I'm not losing to that guy. We're talking about Brendon. And I'm like, okay, well, we can make sure that doesn't happen. And so I had heard a comment like that, but I didn't know like how deep the riff was until that match, and then got super chippy. Ryler would miss a dink, and it was going back and forth. But Brendon would be like, "There we go. It's that all day, right? Just keep hitting it to that guy, like that kind of stuff." And then Ryler was getting back into it with Brendon throughout the match, and then I think we win pretty comfortably. It was like 15-8 or 15-7 or something, and and Ryler just is going off in terms of like being pumped up. And then I don't know what's happening. I'm grabbing my towel and see Megan Fudge, his wife, on the sideline, chat with her. And she tried to calm him down a little bit, like after the turn, like I think the turn was like 8-4. And then we were up a little bit and he's getting fired up. And she was like trying to like get him to dial back a little bit. And I was just like, he needs this. Just let him go. Just let him do it. he just needs this.
Against Brendon Long.
Yeah. So she's just like slow eye closed, just like. And after the match, I grab my towel. Megan says, "Good job." I turn around and I just see them like pretty much like yelling at each other in each other's face. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening really. And then Ryler left, and I was talking to Brendon, and Brendon was just like, yeah, there's some history with like, he calls me a cheater, I call him a cheater, whatever. And it's just like nonsense from, whatever previous matches. But it was nothing like, it was, the animosity was real though. It was fun to watch.
I just can't imagine Brendon Long having like enemies,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ryler, I would say Ryler probably is an enemy to Brendon.
I wish I would have, dude. If they threw, that's what we need though. Like I know people talk about this, but like
just ripping shirts off, just start wailing on somebody.
Let's fight, dude. Let's fight. I'm serious. I'm not gonna.
I know you're serious. That's the scary.
I wish I had like I have one enemy, but he's so bad at pickleball that he's not a worthy opponent. But
you fight him.
Oh yeah, we're not going to mention his name, but I would.
Well,
I would.
It wouldn't even be his name.
It wouldn't even be a fight.
Is it a local Charleston guy?
No, you know who it is.
Oh, I do know who it is. Yeah, yeah.
You got to tell his name.
I know. I was about to say you got to tell that story, but you can't tell that story here.
I can't tell that story, but there's only one guy, and he's just a horrible player with a black heart, and I hate him. I hate this young man.
We'll have other than that, to share that story though.
Yes. But other than that, like, I don't have like, I need an enemy like that. I think it makes, because I guess Ryler must have played. Did he play pretty good?
He played the best he played all day.
Yeah.
Easily.
So I guess like that helps. I think that would help me too.
I think it helps certain people. I think it probably hurts certain people, but yeah, when the drive to win is greater because you're playing somebody that you really want to beat, I think it helps.
I need someone to like, do something to me, like steal my girl or, like whatever, to hook me. Like, I mean, I've been hooked in matches and been like, okay, screw this guy. Like I'm going to win this match, but
that's not enough. That's not enough to drive you. Yeah.
No, I like most people on tour. So, I don't know. Do you sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, what else did you see from Red Rock this weekend other than,
other than Brendon Long, it's amazing. But let me see. Yeah,
I will say this. So interesting, like along the line of Brendon kind of stepping up and getting some good results. Sobek last weekend at the APP, like really out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, like that was interesting. And he played well. Him and Christian Keenum got bronze, which is surprising result, but well deserved, obviously.
Dude, Sobek's playing really good. I think he's and he's a guy that's been playing for a long time, right? Like he was like
super long time, a
prodigy with like Annalie Waters, and they were like 8 or whatever.
YouTube videos of him, from like 2016 or 2015 or something, playing with his dad.
Yeah, so it's weird. I don't know, these kids, like how old was that kid? 18 or something? Like
he's still a teenager.
He's hitting puberty. He's becoming a man, and he's like all the pickles coming together. I mean, yeah, dude, he's pretty sick. Keenum played pretty good too. Just made some dinks, but yeah, dude, Sobek he's really quick, and I felt like he when I was watching,
a good singles player.
Yeah, good singles player, and he was like his like forehand in the middle, like he's pretty explosive. I would say he's kind of explosive. Like he's crashes well, and dude, he's sick, bro. Like he's a good player. So, and that's a good point too about like the margins, like Sobek and Keenum beat Brendon Long and Stefan Avern, who's also a good player, last week. And then fast forward the next week, it's like Brendon and Tyson beat
Riley and James.
They beat Riley. They crushed two other. They crushed
Jay and DJ, like 4-2 or something. Them. Yeah.
Yeah, even like Garnett and Haight was like a joke. It's like I don't know. Going into that, I would think like even like Garnett and Patrick win against Brendon Long and Tyson. I would think that would be a reasonable match.
Yeah, I think Connor got exposed a little bit. Doubles isn't quite there. Yeah, but, just too many errors. Yeah, too many errors on basic volleys and stuff. But
yeah, dude. I mean, I think you're right about the margins, and like that's something that I got to think about too. Is like I know like the margins are slim. Like it is like you can play good for a weekend and you can be better than a lot of players. Yeah. So it's good for my confidence, honestly.
Well,
like,
I think
Brendon can do it. I can do it. Right.
Well, yeah. Well, I think one thing with you that always kind of annoys me a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just tell me more.
Tell me more.
It's double edged, right? Because it's the part I love about you, but it's also the part that annoys me because I think you have the ability to be really good. I mean, you've got the size. You lack the quickness and the speed, but most guys at your size do. And unless you're James Ignatowicz, and then
not as much as me.
Then you have it all.
Yeah, you have it all. Don't talk about it. Don't put James in the same sentence as me. But go ahead.
No, but how self-deprecating you are. Like one, it's funny because you don't take yourself too seriously, but at the same time, I think it hurts you because you don't give yourself enough credit in terms of how good you are or how good you could be. You know who it reminds me of? I don't know if you watched Full Swing on Netflix. It's a golf documentary, but there's a guy that reminds me of you. Yeah, so it's a guy that reminds me of you named Joel Dahman. And I don't know, he's like a middling kind of PGA Tour golf pro. that just like rips on himself the whole time. He's like, dude, I'm not like Rory. I'm not like JT or Brooks. I can't play with these guys. Those guys are incredible. I mean, they've been, spending their whole life training for this moment. I'm just like a dude. I'm just a guy. Yet he's world class, right? So it's like,
right.
Reminds me of you. And he's super funny. Wears a bucket hat and just like gets hammered after his rounds and stuff like that.
That's good.
Doesn't realize he's going to make the cut. Thinks he missed the cut and goes out, and then realizes he makes the cut and has to play the next morning. It's just like, oh shit. So
oh my God.
A lot of parallels with you and him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you don't give yourself enough credit. And I think if you did, you'd be better than you think you could be.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I'm a middling player as well.
Yeah, so it's a perfect segue into do you think you should be dropped from the Brooklyn Aces?
I would say, I'm self-deprecating. Honestly, dude, like playing in the Challenger, like, and playing these matches, like, I really think like I am right now, very almost like the exact middle of the road in the Challenger. Like, I think I am just an average Challenger player. That's what I think. So I don't actually get dropped. I think, I think I'm above average at men's doubles and Challenger for sure. Yeah. And I'm below average in mix. So I think maybe I'm like, and then singles, we're not gonna talk about that.
Singles is a crapshoot.
It is, yeah, it's a crapshoot. So no, I think I'm like an average player. I don't think at this point I should be dropped. You got, now that we got Kane, dude, we can't change anything.
Kane's coming.
Can we talk about Kane?
Yeah, let's talk about Hurricane Tyra Black. What a pickup by the Brooklyn Aces. Just too bad the rest of the team couldn't pull it together. Great call by, I think you were the head of this, correct? Yeah, James put me on Tyra in Minnesota. He's like, dude, you gotta take a look at this chick. And I was like, okay. And then conversation just continued, and he'd send me texts like daily about like just showed up at a random park at 8 a.m. in Delray Beach, and Tyra's been there since the sun came up, drilling with a 4.5, like, stuff like that, right? I'm like, James, are you sure that wasn't you? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Same person, right?
Dude, she's like, and she's got that thing, bro. Like, whatever it is, the thing in your brain that's like kind of messed up with like James, or even like my buddy Scarpa. Like, he was talking to me the other day. He's like, I gotta get a ball machine. We played in the morning for an hour and a half. We played at night for like an hour and a half. Like, we played for 3 hours. And he's like, I'm like, dude, I'm done. I can't do it. He's like, I gotta get a ball machine. And he's like,
oh my God, dude.
That's the same thing. But it's like the thing, and some people have this in their brain where it's like James has it, where it's like they get one thing and they're like, I have to just do this. Like, he can't stop dinking. Like, James can't stop dinking.
It's actually pretty wild. Like,
and Tyra can't either.
Yeah, no, like I remember James played an MLP match, and then you and I were talking to him after. He's like, hey, either of you want to dink? And you're like, yeah, I'll dink. And then like right after that match, you guys are in a back court just like grinding dinks out.
We're dinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Dude, remember when Tyra, the PPA Daytona before MLP, she played with Corinne, and then we were going to play practice games with her, and then she had to leave because she drove like 3 hours to go dink with James.
Yeah, she had to drive back south from Daytona down to Delray to get a dink session in with James.
After playing the whole day.
Yeah. And even beyond that.
Even think about that.
But even beyond that, I think we played on Thursday, right? At Daytona. And then James was playing Friday. And we had 3 matches that day. We get back and we're going to have like a nice pasta dinner. And we see Tyra pulling out of the driveway, leaving. And we get in and like, where is she going? Into the house. And I think Sameen was just like, oh yeah, James hit her up and wanted to dink. So she, after playing 3 matches that day, she has to go drive all the way back to the venue to go dink with James. But also it's like James is is doing a good job in like promoting her and getting the word out there. So I felt like she probably owed him one in terms of letting James get some touches and stuff. But the obsession with
it too.
Yeah, and she wants the touches. She's just like that too. So the obsession is real with some of these people. They want it badly, which is.
And she's got the talent. Like it's the obsession plus the raw talent.
Yeah.
And she's in a great area she's thinking with James all the time. Like she's in a great area. Like I don't see why. Like, I mean, dude, I think 1 year from now, I don't see why she's not the best female player, maybe, or at least being, because there's not really a clear number two, right? Like who's the second? I mean, I guess who's the second best female doubles player in the world? Who would you say?
I would probably put Catherine.
Okay.
You?
But it's like close over there. No, I would say that's probably right. But
no, it's after one, it gets more jumbled for sure. There's a clear cut from one, but
I think a year from now, dude, Kane should be challenging Anna Leigh for the best doubles player in women's pickleball. I really believe that, dude. She's a beast.
Yeah.
Her hands, bro.
No, her hands, and it's just the one thing that impresses me most with Kane is not just the hands, but how compact she is with her swing and how much power she's able to generate off such a small stroke. With I think she's playing with the diadem, so like even with that paddle, you put a sword in her hand with that short stroke and how much power she gets, it's going to be bonkers. But yeah, I agree. I think she's going to be in a year probably challenging Anna Leigh if she stays on this trajectory and she keeps working as hard as she's working. All the raw talent's there for sure.
She's just, she's a machine. I mean, she really is. She's great girl too. Very nice. Yeah. Just like, she's got it all, man. She is, it's a season of Kane, dude. That's what it is.
Kane impressed me a lot in Daytona. That was the big question mark, right? Like we knew she could handle pace, handle power, knew she had good hands, but didn't know how she would hold up in the reset and the Dink soft stuff. And they, the opponents, the women they played, tried to Dink to Tyra as the game plan, and Tyra held up really well and didn't miss many dinks at all. And then would find her spots to speed up and start hands battles and would just clean it up. It was good.
It was great, dude. I finally realized it, like at the end, like the last match, like
get out of the way, bro.
Greg, get out of the way. Just play your little right side roll, even though it's mixed. We want you to hit as few balls as possible. We want Tyra taking the balls. And finally I did that. Yeah. And we crushed somebody. We crushed whoever we played because it was just, I mean, I played good too, but it was just Tyra against a woman, like a challenger level woman player in front of her. Tyra's going to win that matchup 80% of the time. So
and it's kind of what I like about her being on the left straight on with the other female on the other team is head up with another woman. She's going to win the hands battle pretty much every time. Yeah. So just start the firefight and just clean up Tyra. That's it.
Yeah.
And Greg, stay out of the way.
Greg, stay out of the way. Make your dinks. Get to the kitchen. Let Kane do what she does. And
that's it.
Yeah, dude, she's a beast. I think her and I don't know, like her. Yeah, I think she's just going to be. She's already good. She's going to be number one, dude. A year from now. And
what are we talking right now? It's April 8th. Right now is when we're recording this, and MLP is not till what is it, June 15th or something like that? I mean, we're talking 2 full months, which is a very, very long time in pickleball world. Very long time. So to see what she can do in the next 2 months and how good she'll be in June at MLP, I think she's going to be a premier level woman by then. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm a little, like I'm already kind of, I definitely think, I think she played this weekend. I think she played pretty good. She played Braver this weekend. I think they had
a decent run also. I know she's playing she's playing every tournament too. She's playing.
Yeah.
She played.
They lost, I think 11, they lost 11-9 in the third to, I think it was Jessie, Irvin, and maybe Irina. Which,
yeah.
She's holding up well then. If you're losing 11-9 in the third, right? Like,
and then they won a few good matches in the back draw, and they ended up losing to the Brashas. But and Jill's a good player too. But yeah, dude, she's a beast. Love Kane. I think she's she's the future, man.
Yeah, and you're right, really, man. So. Beyond just like the obsessive dinking stuff, like playing, like she's playing every tournament. Like she's playing, like you said, she's playing everything, and that's a big deal because you get so many reps, and you need tournament reps. You know, you can dink and drill and play rec all day at home, even if you're doing it with great players. But unless you're doing it in tournament settings, it's not the same. So the fact that she's going to have so many tournament reps before June, she's just going to be a beast.
It's going to be so sick, dude. I can't say enough good things about Kane. I mean, yeah, she's just a monster.
What a pickup by the Brooklyn Aces. Shout out!
What a call by Rob Nunnery.
No, I don't make that call. Shout out to Sameen and Rich Kleiman for pulling the trigger. I can provide input if they ask, but like, you know, our team, for example, is they're heavily involved in pickleball, and Sameen is watching film. Sameen's like all over he's watching results. He's looking at everything. So props to them for pulling the trigger on Tyra, because it was a good pickup.
Second best pickup, I think, other than me.
Other than you, yeah, no doubt. Fledgling challenger level player, just
that's right, baby. 43rd pick. Come on
now. Okay, so we got that. Anything else stand out to you? We'll talk about this because this has been an ongoing chat topic with the tournament, especially. Leia. I don't know if you saw Leia and Salome's match. Leia lost her match with Salome's paddle, basically thinking it's delaminated. And I don't know. To me, players know, right? Players know if it's coming off differently. And a lot of people are defending Salome, saying, "Hey, she weights her paddle to 11 ounces almost. She's playing at elevation, colder weather, which all does play into, it all comes into effect. But at the same time, I think DLAM paddles are a real thing, and it's becoming more and more prevalent because you do get a big edge with that. I would say a bigger edge with that than, the other big topic of conversation right now is PEDs. What are your thoughts on, and then we also had Travis and Tyson. Travis called out Tyson on his paddle in singles, which was interesting because both Selkirk sponsor players and challenging a Selkirk paddle. Not that Selkirk did it intentionally, of course, right? But, it's a plastic paddle. So over time it does delaminate. And what are your thoughts on the whole delamination paddle nonsense?
Yeah, dude, I saw a little bit of the Leia match, and I was like, I love Leia. I think she's a feisty girl, and she says
whatever she wants, which I love.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She's talking to me about wild stuff. I'm like, let's go. Leia's a beast. I don't know Davidze. All I know about Davidze is that I've seen her hook worse than anybody I've ever. It's not even close. The hooks that she's put on people, I don't know. She might be a great person, whatever. I don't respect that at all. That is. So I'm team Leia, dude. I don't even care about it.
It's blatant cheating.
It's so bad. Yeah. I can't see the ball. It's tennis ball compressed. I don't care, dude. These balls, they're not even close. So whatever. I don't think she's the good one. It's Leia maybe overreacted in that match a little bit. It was a little wild, but
everybody's saying how whiny she was, but if you have a strong conviction that the match you're in right now, the person's blatantly cheating you, whether it's line calls or whether it's a paddle that's illegal, hard not to lose your mind. And also I think Leia owns that matchup with Salome. I don't think Leia loses to Salome ever or very often. So it's not like this is like she's pulling this out of nowhere. I feel like it was a clear advantage, but who knows?
Yeah,
Paddle, I'm sure the paddle will get tested.
I think, dude. I mean, I think the delamination thing's real. I think it's definitely, obviously it's real, and it's definitely an advantage and a problem. I remember my buddy Jake Kussmeyer, great singles player, emerging doubles player. He's in Brazil right now, so I don't know what he's not playing pickle, but
he's with his lady.
He's with his lady.
U.S. Open prep.
Yeah, he is. He's playing the U.S. Open. He might win the singles, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not playing.
Yeah, exactly. He can't beat the 37-year-old Rob, but he might. Who knows? But he's a great player, and he used to use the Legacy a few months ago. And I remember hearing like the noise after like a month of him playing with it, hearing the noise coming from that paddle, and his forehands were. It was twice as hard as any ball I've seen. Like it was a clear difference, especially for a guy like that who plays the power game. Like it might not help me that much, honestly, but for a guy like that who plays the power game, like it is a huge advantage, and especially in singles too. And so yeah, I think it's definitely a problem. I don't know the testing situation. I know it's like apparently it's really tough to test for the delamination like on site. It's like this big equipment issue, so they have to, I don't know what they have to do, but it's definitely, man, like I think I mean, you can hear the sound, bro. You can hear the sound coming off the ball. Like I don't care if the DJ's paddle was 37 ounces. Like does that affect the sound that it's, you can just hear it, dude.
Yeah, it does sound.
You can hear it. So it's like, I don't care how much it's weighted up. I don't care. Like that thing was delaminated, like whatever. I mean, it's definitely an issue. I think the PPA and the RB are corrected, but it's definitely an advantage. I think the grit thing, let's not forget about also. But yeah, the paddle situation is just wild, dude. I just want to go back to the Franklin. Like I think that should be like the highest, like the best paddle you can play with. Like wood paddles, I don't like all this grit, man. I don't like. Yeah, that should be like the peak to me. Like, I
think we got. I mean,
that's not
the sport needs to decide what they want to regulate, right? Whether it's whether it's paddle or whether it's ball. Ball is also an option. Make it slower, make the ball slower. I don't know if people want the sport to be slower though, right? It's like people want these firefights and fast points and all this. So who knows? I'm on your side though in terms of I prefer like it'd be like in tennis you don't ever hear about racket controversies, right? It's a level playing field. You have preference over it's more of like a string thing too. But in pickleball, we have to figure it out. We need to come up with like a very standardized paddle to use where you can have, different brands and different makes and different feels, which you have with the tennis rackets. But I think in terms of paddles versus rackets, like pickleball should look at tennis in terms of this and maybe clean up what you're able to use and that kind of thing. I don't know. I just feel like it's just strange to me that it's not an issue with tennis and it's an issue with pickleball.
Yeah. Cause it's like, I would think if you look at tennis rackets and like whatever Kyrgios is playing with the Yannicks and Djokovic is playing with a head, like those rackets are probably pretty similar in the amount of spin they can generate. Or let's say they're playing this, you have a Yannicks, you have a head, and you put the same exact strings, same exact tension. Like the difference between the amount of spin you can generate with both those rackets or power are going to be pretty similar, I would think. And I think with pickleball, it's like some guys are playing with paddles that generate 30% more spin than somebody else. It's like, I doubt that gap is anywhere close in a sport like tennis. So I think it is an issue. Like, there is a huge advantage in certain guys playing with certain paddles. But
100%.
I don't know how it's getting cleaned up.
Yeah, that needs to be Yeah, that margin, you're right. I think it's a big margin in pickleball versus tennis. And it needs to somehow be a level playing field where it's not such a massive advantage, because right now it's, some of the stuff these guys can do with paddles based on what paddle they're playing with is just bonkers.
Dude, it's wild. Like I'm like, I play if I played like some of these guys who are hitting big forehands and driving a lot, then I'd probably be like, dude, go make them more spinny, make them more powerful. But like selfishly, like I don't really play like that. So it doesn't help me as much. And I'm trying to develop shots like that. But, so, for me, it's definitely not like I don't want the technology to get too crazy, but that's good. That's a good point too. Is like, where do you want the sport? Like, because it's definitely shortening the dinking rallies. It's definitely shortening the points. So whether that's intentional or not. So it depends on what direction the sport wants to go.
Yeah, I think definitely, like with MLP and Steve Kuhn, like we had Sam Query on the pod. We were talking to him, and he was saying that, MLP is thinking about a lot of different ideas. One being where you have basically like a shot clock to where the point has to end before a certain number of shots or time limit. So, let's say you get 30, 45 seconds into a point, you hear an audible beep, and you have, call it 10 seconds to finish the point. So it creates these moments where you have to speed up, or you have to try to end the point early, which, let's be honest, like I know you hate it, but it
so
would
stupid.
It would make it fun. It would make it fun to watch. And I think it'd be worth a short test to try in some matches, right? Where, cause think about it. If the point's getting that long and, you hear a beep and you're a viewer and you're like, okay, who's going to speed up here? They have to somehow, like, if you and I are playing, right, my favorite shot's to speed up off the bounce. So they're going to try to get it away from me, get it to you. So you have to speed up off the bounce. It's just interesting strategy dynamic. So I don't know.
I'm going to be like the serving team has to speed up or something. Cause it'd be like, if there's a shot clock, like, or I guess, I don't know. I'm not into all that. I don't think. Is that gonna happen? Is that gonna happen? Like legit? Like,
I don't know if it'll happen.
Not.
But I think pushing the sport
Just play
forward.
Pickle, man.
I think innovation is not a bad thing. Innovation's not a bad thing. But I'm right there with you. Like I prefer traditional. I prefer just playing Pickle. Let's chill a little bit.
Right?
Let's go some dinks.
Let's hit some dinks, man. Let's hit 5 dinks in a row and let's see what happens. Like, dude, let's not like. I think people are getting a little bit wild with like changing the scoring and the blah 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 blah. It's like, dude, is there 8 million players or something like that who are actually playing like twice a month or more, like an avid, like something like that, dude. And it's that's normal scoring. That's normal pickle. There's no shot clock. It's like people love the game without all, like, I don't know. I just think some of these changes are like why change something when it's already going well? I think for the pro viewership, maybe different.
Yeah, I agree.
But like the game itself, people love this game.
It's growing fast for a reason, right? Like,
don't change it.
Yeah, at the amateur level. But I think that is the difference is we're talking about participation, which obviously doesn't have a problem, versus viewership, which has a big problem right now. Because it's very much lagging versus participation. So I think these changes are being thought about and implemented in terms of how to increase viewership, which increasing viewership should, as a player, should be all of our goals because that's going to increase sponsorships. That's going to increase dollars in our own pockets. And, I think as a player, we don't necessarily have to like it, but at the same time, it's going to benefit us. And we have to learn to like it, right? Like we have to learn, like I think about that with rally scoring at MLP. I'm like, it feels like such a crapshoot on who's winning these games. Like the margins are so slim. Like, if a game's 21-18, it's a blowout, basically. Right. Like if the game's not 22-20, it wasn't a close game, or 23-21. So, but at the same, like I have to go into it thinking like, okay, I love rally scoring. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is, like if you go into it thinking like rally sucks, this is stupid. Why are we playing like this? Why aren't we playing traditional, normal pickleball? Then you're going to be in a bad headspace and you're going to be behind the 8 ball versus somebody that's like, love rally. Let's play. Let's do this.
No, that's true. I mean, yeah, I don't really have that big of a problem with rally scoring either, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. What do you think so like there's 8 million avid players, right? And you get on these PPA streams, like if you're watching live, there's what, 4,000 to 6,000, 7,000 people watching on like a Saturday men's double. Maybe there's up to 10. I think there's been up to like 10K or so on a Sunday, but what do you, do you think the gap, like what is that gap? Like, cause if there's 8 million avid players and there's a maximum of, maybe these streams at the end of a week get like 60,000 views or something, but like, what is that? What do you think the biggest gap is between just getting even 1%? If 1% of the 8 million players were watching every weekend, that's 80,000 views watching live right there, right? Yeah. So it's like, what do you think that gap is? Like, why don't they want to watch us, man?
I don't
think they want to watch Rob Nunnery.
Yeah, I don't think
Greg Dow.
Well, it's an interesting conversation, right? Because that's the thought that APP is having in terms of why they don't stream on Thursday, Friday, which to my knowledge is one, it doesn't make economic sense. They'd be losing a lot of money if they did it, and they'd rather put those resources into creating good stories and branding players and getting that out to the amateur market that doesn't know about pro pickleball at all. I think with the PPA, for example, it's all kind of happening in like an echo chamber where you have this hardcore contingent of diehard fans that watch no matter what, right? Like the Odas, the Heishes, all those people that just love watching.
Boys.
Yeah. And the squad, but but it's not really going after that amateur market and trying to attract new viewers. And I think that's the gap right now is there's not enough stories being told to the open amateur market to actually draw that interest. So yeah, it's the biggest challenge though. Why aren't these people watching? I think
they love pickle. People are obsessed with pickle. I would think I want to go watch. Oh God, the best players in the world are playing. Like I love watching. I think just because I'm a player and I like learning and I know these guys or whatever. But I wonder what the gap is. Like
it's massive. It's massive right now. Like even 10,000. People like breaking 10,000 on a live stream. Who cares? Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
It means this means nothing.
This
literally
zero.
So there's a big gap to overcome. And I think, I do think
the fighting. Hey, let's talk about if there was a pickle fight at Brendon Long and freaking Ryler DeHeart throw down and me and my enemy, that wouldn't be good. That would be like a 6-second Instagram reel. Cause I would just one punch, it's over. Yeah. Well, no, just the guy that I am talking about. But Ryler and Brendon, like, dude, if that happens, it's a live stream and they get in each other's face and somebody, you talk about viewership, bro.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. These
pickle guys are fighting, bro. That's on, what do you call it? Like the hood fight things?
Yeah.
What's that one site called? What am I thinking of? You know, where they have like
I do not know.
The fights at the McDonald's or whatever.
No.
World Star Hip Hop. You know, World Star. It's like all these like public fights and stuff. That's on World Star. Like I'm not saying really fight, but like, no, not really, but like, let's let it go. Like if people are saying F you, like people are starting like, maybe, I don't know, like that would be pretty wild. Like,
I think one thing that does need to be better is commentary in terms of like, let's say that match is going on with Leia and Salome, right? Can we please stop talking about like, this patterns they're hitting and cross court shots and down the line. Look, can we talk about like why Leia's losing her mind? Can we talk about like, can we show clips of past tournaments where Salome's hooked different players? Like, tell the backstory. People want to understand, like, if they're tuning in for the first time, they don't care about she hit a good cross court backhand and that's a smart shot to hit against Leia because XYZ. It's like,
right.
They want to know the context of the storyline of why is there so much animosity on court? Why is this chick talking to the refs every point? Why is she yelling at her opponent about her paddle? Like, tell stories and context around what's happening on court and with the dynamics of the players and why there's tension. That's what people want to watch and hear about.
Dude, I think there's a big gap with that. I had the same thought watching that match. I'm like, guys, let's lean into this a little bit. Like, this is, I don't know if they're trying to like protect the players or
who cares?
It doesn't
you got to take off your, I'm a PPA employee hat right now. And you got to be a good commentator. Like, you have to tell the good stories about, like, you want to grow the sport. You want to help the PPA. Just be a great commentator and talk about the storylines that are actually happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. There's a big miss in that match for them talking. I think the commentating's good generally with like everything else other than like, if whatever, there's partners who break up and now they're playing against each other. Like, if they were like, hey, listen, these guys don't like each other.
You've got to tell that story.
Even this match, tell that story. Who cares? It's fun.
Yeah. Even with the Brendon match with Tyson against James and Riley, you have to tell that, like, we don't learn that story until Tyson says, I got dropped, so I picked the guy that would help me beat the guys that dropped me. Like, you have, if you're a commentator, you have to, before that match even happens, you have to talk to the players, like, why? So Tyson, why are you not playing with James here? And like, you have to, that's part of your job. You have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think
totally
the more stories and context they can tell about, like, these people know what's going on, like in pickleball, like behind the scenes of like player dynamics and storylines and who likes who. And you have to tell that on the broadcast, because that's the most interesting part, not the actual breakdown and analysis of a shot and a point. Like, who cares?
Right.
Like, that's not what's going to drive
it. Just some, combination of the two, but it's like, and it's also, I was noticing and I like a lot of the commentators are good. Like, other than the thing we just talked about, like, I think they do a good job, but it's tough in pickle too. Cause it's like every point, especially in singles and are watching, it's like, they have to say something after every single point. And it's like, there's not much to say. Like, at some point it's like, it's tough because it's like you don't want to be silent in between points, but it's a tough sport to commentate, I think, because it's like there's so many points and they're so quick in between, so you can't get a full thought in either.
Here's the other thing that I would like to happen with commentary, like, and it happened with the Leia Salome match, is Leia saying stuff after points, right? Like, almost after every single point. I desperately want to hear what Leia's saying because I know it's going to turn it up. I know it's going to be entertaining, and the commentators are just talking over the on-court commentary that she's saying. Like, I think we have to be able to hear players clearly on court and what they're saying, because it's so interesting. It's more interesting what the commentators are going to say, right? Like, the viewer wants to hear what's going on court coming out of the player's mouths. That's super interesting.
Should we get mic'd up?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think miking players is important and it should just, like, like we said, as players, like, we have to suck it up for the betterment of the game, especially pro viewership. So, like, I think players should do whatever it takes to help grow that side. And if that means, the tour wants to put a mic on you while you play, I think you do it. You have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think it'd be, if you just had, like, have you ever seen like the NFL clips of like all the little sideline conversations?
Dude, it's always the best.
All that stuff. They're great. It's just such a cool thing. If you had like a compilation of all the pickleball players doing that, like the back and forth, that would just be gold.
Dude, think about
the stuff that's said on the court.
Think about like a post tournament recap but it's just kind of like, you have a great narrator but the whole thing is basically just like shooting from clip to clip of player commentary on their own, like just being mic'd up and talking to their partner, talking to their opponents, like a whole episode of 20 minutes of watching that from a tournament and just seeing people chirping and stuff. That's all you need. That's everything.
And it's even the comments like to yourself, like things that I say to myself are 100%. Just like, I mean, I couldn't even, I mean, if there was a compilation of things that I've said to myself on the pickleball, I would be arrested. Probably. I'd be in jail. Call the police.
Yeah.
So, and I know other people talk and they're like, you know, the things that are said to yourself, things that are said to you. Yeah, it's gold. I think that's a big thing, man.
And it's real and it's authentic, so and you're getting an actual behind the scenes look of like what's going through a player's head. You know, it's good stuff. And it's like MLP. You know, you're playing singles, and all I hear you saying is, "I am Jake Kussmeyer. I am Jake Kussmeyer." Just trying to channel your inner Jake Kussmeyer. Yes. And then like another one.
And I lose 4 points in a row.
Dude, another one, for example, is I'm just watching the fives play, and I think they're playing, I don't remember who they're playing, but it's like on kind of a back court, maybe court 3 in Daytona. And I'm like, this is Friday. I'm not playing. I've got like a blue polo on, sunglasses. Can't really, like, I'm kind of incognito a little bit. And I'm watching James play mixed, and all I hear is, "Let's go, Rob." I'm like, who said that? Like, and why is he saying Rob? And it's James, like literally he's getting served to, and he's like, and you know, return position. He's like, "Let's go, Rob. We got this, Rob. Come on, Rob." And I'm just like, what is he saying? My name? Is he referring to me or just like somebody else? And I'm looking around, and then like I get big eyes from him, and I'm like, oh, he's serious. And then he continues to do that every point. And I think other people are like, why is he saying, "Let's go, Rob," every point? And I was saying the same thing to myself. I'm like, why is he saying, like, I didn't even know he knew I was here. And it was just classic. So like, you just get random stuff like that mic'd up, and you're just it's just fun stuff.
It's just fun stuff. Like, let's get, even like Tyson, like, I'm a little jealous that James said your name so many times during the match. I do have to say that, but
it's just because you weren't there.
I know, but still. Yeah, dude, even like Tyson, like chugging a beer after winning, like stuff like that, like whatever. Like, yeah, it's just like, I think people need to get a little more wild. Like, no one wants to watch a bunch of nerds dink, like a bunch of 100%. Geeks trying to make a dink. Nobody cares. I like it because I'm kind of a geek who's dinking, but like, you know, nobody wants to watch these nerds dink. That's just at the end of the day. Like, they want to watch James speak Spanish. You know, talk to Rob. They want to, you know, Tyson chugging beers with his, whatever his outfit, you know, he's looking, he's got a tank top, he's got a mullet.
The issue is all this stuff's happening. They just have to capture it.
True.
It's all happening. It's wild out there, Greg. It's wild out there. You just got to capture it, baby.
Yeah. Like when I was dinking with you and I was like, we were playing against each other and I was like, oh yeah. You know,
I was like, this guy will not shut up after every. So I was playing Greg at it was Punta Gorda APP, and it's first time playing Greg, and you're already on the MLP team at this point, and I'm like, okay, let's see what this dude has, and then he's like he's isolating me out, hitting every ball to Austin Gridley, hitting forehand dinks cross court with him.
No names.
and all he's saying is after every time he hits a dink, he's like, yeah. I'm just like, I want to kill this guy. Why is he saying that's a hindrance. It's something. Just shut up. Stop saying yeah. It's not even a grunt. He's just talking during the point.
It's talking.
Get this guy out of here.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like,
but
my God.
I need to do stuff like that more, dude. Like, I need to just I'm going to get more wild out there too. Like,
dude,
I think
get weird.
Because it makes
it weird out there.
Just get weird. I'm a weird guy. I say weird things all the time.
Yeah.
I'm in like, let's get a little more weird.
Let's get a little more weird.
And you can kind of like, you can help me out. Like if I get too crazy, if James is in the crowd, I get a little wild. Like, then you can say, Greg, okay, take it down a notch, but let's get super weird. And then you take me down.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm ever going to take you down. I'm just going to lift you up. I don't ever want to reel in Greg Dow. I'm just gonna let Greg Dow be Greg Dow and just let it fly, baby.
Could I talk during the point? Like, if you're dinking, you're kind of sitting there dinking. Could you be like, don't speed up, don't hit that, watch out, watch your feet? Like, could you like talk during the point to the other player? Can I start doing that
to your opponent?
Yeah.
You mean, yeah,
yes.
I think that would 1000% be a hindrance, but don't know till we try.
Yeah, for sure.
I say try.
But these refs are not, these refs, their hearing isn't the best, I would say.
That's true.
So if I said it like softly, like,
oh, if you're whispering to the opponents during, if I'm in a cross court dink battle with somebody and you're just whispering to them, like, don't do it. Yeah, please do it.
Please speed up. Please speed up to me. Like stuff like that. Like the refs, they don't hear. The refs are great, but like they're not going to hear. I'm not going to yell, but like I'll be like, yeah, just speed up. Go ahead.
They're just watching. They're watching your feet. They're watching your feet. They're not watching
my feet.
Yeah.
No, they're not. And so I think getting wild like that, and not me. Nobody cares about me, but like James, like even his little antics, Big Papa Jimmy stuff, like that stuff's great for the sport, man. Like we need like a bunch of Jameses out there. Like that's what we need.
Yeah, no, he's so good for the sport because I don't remember who I was telling this to, but it's like he can say, because we've had him on the podcast and he's just like, he shreds people, like rips people apart, but he does it kind of like with a very innocent and earnest smile. So like, you're not like, oh, that guy's an asshole for what he just said. You're like, oh, he's sweet. You know, he's a nice guy. Yeah. He's just a sweetheart. Even though he
shredded me on his podcast. Did you hear that?
No, what'd he say?
It wasn't a shred, but he said like, he was talking about Kane and he's like, yeah. And she went 3-0 in women's and MLP and she went 1-2 with Dow, which is she's playing with Dow. So that's a win, I would say. She said that. And he was, and I heard it and my heart dropped. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, James, my friend, like he's also kind of right, unfortunately, which sucks, but he's kind of right. And so, yeah, exactly. Like he can do whatever he wants me. I'm going to be like, I still love this guy. Like he's the king, man. He's King James.
He's King James. And
he's King Pickle.
I don't think there's he's hard to describe because he could say anything he wants and just, smile and be okay with it. And everybody's okay with it. Like, oh, what a guy.
Everyone's okay. It's James. Yeah. You just want to just harmless James.
Yeah.
Dude, also like,
just wants to dink.
He just wants to dink and he wants the best for everybody. He wants the best for Pickle. That's what he wants.
I believe that.
He cares about Pickle and he cares about Anna Bright and that's it, man. And cold brew coffee. The kid's just a man. But I think, dude, what do you think about like a villain too? Like, I think Pickle needs like a freaking like a guy everybody hates. Like, who do you think could be a good villain? I think we have a couple candidates, but like,
give me go. I think Tyson could play that if he wasn't such a nice guy.
No, Tyson's too nice.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But the look, like the persona and the look could be that guy.
Yeah.
But he's just too nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. I mean, I think Newman.
I mean, Matt Wright.
Matt Wright, yeah.
I mean, Matt Wright and Riley, when they play together, like they beat Dylan and J-Dub in Austin, I think purely like they were down like a game and like a lot. And they won that match purely because they started bullying the children. And it worked. It worked. Yeah. They're like, okay, let's just get loud and in their face and like stare them down after every single point, even if they miss a dink. And let's win like that. And they won like that. Like they had no reason winning that match. And they did purely based on getting in their face and being loud. So that's pretty villain-esque.
Pretty villain-esque. Yeah, I think Alshon can maybe be a villain too. Yeah. Like he just seems like he reminds me of like Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter.
Very much.
very Slytherin kind of guy. James is definitely Gryffindor for sure.
100%. Yeah.
I'm like a Muggle or something. I don't even know. I don't know, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
dude, like, and like, I don't really know him, and like, I've heard he's a nice kid, like whatever. But yeah, something like that. Like, I don't know. I think we just need somebody to hate too. Like people like hated like LeBron when he left. He left Cleveland for Miami. Like people hated, Bill, the Detroit Pistons, Bill Laimbeer and all those guys. They hated them, and they loved Larry and Magic, and like I think that's like big too.
But
having somebody to hate.
I think here's the thing though, like you don't like to be a villain. You don't necessarily need to be hated by everybody. So I think when people hear that, they're like, "Oh, I need everybody to hate me." Nobody wants that, really, right? Because what you want is like half the people, like for Laimbeer and the Pistons and that thing, like, who did love them? All of Detroit, all of the state of Michigan, right? Like they had anybody that's like loved the antics, loved them. So so just because you're a villain doesn't mean you don't have people that love you. Like you have people that, and I think that's what everybody wants in terms of like growing and being like a good personal brand in pickleball is you don't want to be loved by everybody. You don't want to be hated by everybody. You want to ride that middle ground of some people love you, some people hate you, because then you're divisive, and everybody's still talking about you.
Like Trump, dude. Where's the Trump of pickle?
Where is the Trump of pickle?
Like I'm just like thinking about like people, like either people love him or hate him. Like a guy like that, like and you couldn't stop talking about Trump for 5 years, literally. So it's like, a guy like the Trump of pickle. Like just, like you said, somebody who's just hated and then loved by some people. Like, I don't know where it's going to be. But
who's it going to be? It's not going to be James. James is too lovable.
James is too lovable. But I don't know, man. I was checking the chat after the news broke that he dumped Tyson. And, some people – a little bit, but it's James. So there's obviously James defenders. I'm one of them.
Yeah. You're a James apologist.
I'm a James apologist to the end. I don't care what that guy does.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, I think some people were a little bit like, whatever. I mean, nobody knows the backstory. Nobody knows who drops who first and things happen and whatever. So who knows? Maybe James will have some haters. That would be sick if James got because everybody loves James at this point. But like if he got like a faction of people who just despised him, like
it'd be good for him.
Sick too. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, dude. We're at an hour 17. I think this is a good run for us. Good run for us. And I know you seem pretty dialed in and locked in. So well done. Yeah,
I'm definitely dialed in. I got the mud. Mud water's gone.
You had the mud water. All right, dude. Thanks for coming on. Sorry, we didn't have Stone today. He's in a birthing class of 10 hours today, and he's been very sick the past couple of days. So we'll have to have you on again with Stone.
Hey, shout out. Speaking of birthing, shout out, Daddy Scarpa.
Oh yeah,
Anderson Scarpa. His wife Alana is in labor right now.
No way.
He got I don't know. Her water broke this morning.
Yeah, I don't know all that means either.
Whatever her water, she's going to the hospital.
It's on the way. It's stuff's happening.
They're having a baby.
Yeah.
A freaking baby, dude. Yeah. So shout out Scarpa. Shout out baby Scarpa.
Is it inappropriate to tell a Scarpa story around this? This changes like that one.
Well, I think I talked about Scarpa, but yeah, we can tell it. So when, So when,
context on how much Scarpa loves pickleball. Like he loves it. Like he wants the ball machine after a 3-hour session. Yes. Like this dude loves pickle.
Scarpa is the man. He's been a great friend, a great partner to me. He has made me so much better because of his obsession. And I'm kind of like, if he didn't want to play as much as he did, I wouldn't play as much either. And like I want to play too, but not as much as him. But so anyway, the story is he finds out that his wife calls me, and he's like, "Hey man,
Hey,
Alana's pregnant.
You're breaking up a little laggy. So I missed some
What
of
about
that.
now?
Yeah, try now. So start that. He finds out that finds out that his wife's pregnant.
He finds out his wife's pregnant. He gives his partner Dow a call, and I answered the phone. He's like, "Hey, man, I got to tell you something." I thought it was like going to be something bad happened. From his tone, he was like, "Dude, Alana's pregnant. We're having a baby." And I'm like, "Dude, that's so awesome. Like, I'm so excited for you. Like, this is sick, baby Scarpa. Like, let's go." And he's like, "Listen, man," he gets all serious. He's like, "Listen, I just want you to know this changes nothing." And he said it exactly like that. He said exactly like that. He's like, "Listen, I'm going to be a dad, but I'm working for this baby. This changes nothing." And I'm not even thinking about that. I mean, I'm not even thinking about that at all, but yeah, dude, the guy's got.
Yeah. You're not thinking pickle. You're not thinking like what, and Scarpa, all he's thinking about is pickle. This changes nothing, Greg.
This changes nothing. He slowed down. I mean, it was, I was like, dude, like, So that was a funny Scarpa story. He's a guy who's got the bug, like James, like Tyra, like so many of your viewers probably. So, good guy to have around.
Just wants to dink, just like a lot of us. Let's go dink.
He's in the hospital right now. He's thinking about his backhand dink and what he can do better on the backhand dink. So wild kid, loves pickle, great guy.
All right. Thanks, Greg Dow.
All right, man.
Talk soon.
See you, buddy.
Because you know why? Why? Because it feels right. It feels right.
Legendary.